Commenting on LinkedIn posts is one of the highest ROI activities for B2B founders. But finding relevant posts in your ICP's feed, reading through them, and then writing thoughtful comments, that's an hour a day that most founders just don't have time for. So they just don't do it, and they miss out on compounding visibility with their exact target audience. Here's a workflow that automates 90% of that process. So this is exactly what happened after just 5 days of me testing out this new workflow for myself. I received this message in my LinkedIn inbox. It says, "Hi Luke, looking to set up a Clay automation, details attached. Is this something you can help with? Thanks." And so this came to me just because this workflow was uncovering high engagement posts and generating comment ideas for me to use. And then I was able to just post without giving it much thought, and it wasn't taking up tons of my day. And within just 5 days of doing that daily, I got this message. This guy signed as a client, and he's still a client right now. So this is an overview of the LinkedIn engagement all-bound play workflow. It's a completely evergreen workflow, and I'm going to walk you through it step by step. So we'll start on the left. It starts with building a list of people, and what you want to target is people who are most likely to have large followings, because those people tend to post all the time on LinkedIn and tend to get high engagement with their posts. So I set up a search in Clay, and I searched for people that have at least 10,000 followers that are in a certain niche, and that was my source. And then those people flow into table 1, which is what we call the creators table. So in the creators table, all we're doing is getting the creator posts and then sending that table data to table 2, which is the creator posts table, where you will have one post per row. Cool. So real quick, in table 1, which is our creators table, the only enrichment we have is get creator posts. Let me open this up and explain it. There's an enrichment available in Clay called Get a Person's Professional Posts and Shares. Now, if a person has shared or if they have posted, it doesn't matter. Their content that they shared or posted will be pulled in. I wish that it was only posts that we would get, but that's just the way it is, and it's not really a big problem anyway. So you use this and you just set the LinkedIn profile URL, and then you set the maximum number of posts and shares that you want. So in this example, I just set it as 5 because I only want recent posts. If you set this as 1, you'd only get the one most recent post. You can set this to up to 25. If you want to build a massive list of people who have engaged with those posts, then by all means you can do that. And so we run this, and that gives us an array that looks like this. So it's JSON here. If you hover over this and click on Take Action on Lists, you can click Write each item to a new row in another table. So that's awesome, because that means that in our second table, we're going to have every single post on a separate row. And then for each post, we'll be able to see clearly how many likes, comments, reactions it got in total. And then we'll also be able to qualify each post based on the content and make sure that it's talking about something that is relevant to what you do and what you offer to your market. So let's talk about table 2, the creator posts. We have one post per line, and then we're able to run enrichments on every single row. So firstly, does the post have more than 100 reactions? If yes, then continue to the next step. The next step is let's calculate the number of days since that post was posted and make sure that it's recent and that it's still fresh. If the post is less than 7 days old, we will then use AI to qualify the post and make sure that it's talking about topics that are relevant to the problems that we solve as a business, because those are the posts that we most want to focus on. From there, we will know our most qualified posts. You could even score them. And then we will generate comment ideas. So that's going to give you various ideas of comments that you can use on those posts. You're not going to copy and paste them in the vast majority of cases. What you're going to do is use them as inspiration to just tweak them, make them your own, make them human, most importantly, and remove all the blatant AI style writing that might be present. And then you have a comment that didn't take you too much thought to think up. on a highly relevant, highly qualified post that has tons of engagement. And when you post that comment, what's going to happen is all of your ICP who are reading that post and engaging with that post are going to start noticing you as another insightful thought leader who has valuable insights and knowledge to share with them. So that's going to make them come over to your profile and check you out. And if your profile is well optimized for that particular ICP, there's a high chance that they're going to start reaching out to you, or they're going to start engaging with your posts and your content. And when that happens, you'll be able to message them, send them connection requests, reach out to them, see how things are going, and uncover any pain points that they might have that you'll be able to solve. So this is the gateway to getting those people over to you by ethically leveraging, I should say, the content of your peers. So that's what happens. You manually post these comments. You don't want to use automation for posting on LinkedIn, in my opinion, because it's against their terms of service. And there is a risk that they would flag your account and it could get shut down. And if your LinkedIn account is worth a lot of money to you, then you definitely don't want to lose it by playing around with automation tools, in my opinion. So that covers table 2. And then what we do is we send all of those posts that are qualified to table 3, where we're going to run an Apify actor. Let's dive into that, and I'll show you that in Clay. Now, up until this point, what we've done in this workbook is we've identified high engagement posts, and we've generated ideas that we can use as comments for those posts. From table 3 on outwards, what we're doing is we're focusing on the outbound side of things. So what we're trying to do here is build a huge list of our ICP members who have engaged with those posts, the qualified posts, and then we're going to build a huge list of them for an outbound motion, as they like to call it, which I don't really fully, I think it sounds weird, outbound motion. Anyway, it doesn't matter. This is actually the biggest power play of this entire workbook. So if you watched it this far, congrats to you. I love this because this is what makes this whole thing evergreen. And when I figured out how to do this, my mind was blown. So what I did here is pulled in all of the posts. I used lookup rows in other table, and we looked up all of the qualified posts from table 2. And then we used the formula to combine all of those LinkedIn post URLs into one massive long string. And then we added up the total post reactions to know this is the total number of post reactions. Of course, each person may have reacted multiple times to one of their heroes' posts on LinkedIn, but this is the maximum possible number of leads that we would get by running this Apify actor. So then we generate an Apify input, and then we send that to Apify from Clay using run Apify actor. And this is what makes it evergreen. So you can set up your creator posts column in table 2 to run on a daily schedule or a weekly schedule, whatever you want. And then that's constantly going to be updating other columns in that table. And then that's going to create new posts. It's going to uncover new posts that are qualified that can allow this to run, table 3. And table 3 is going to send this input to the Apify actor, and that is just going to run. You can also set the Apify actor itself to run on a schedule of your choosing. So after table 3 has run the Apify actor, in table 4, all we need to do is import data from that Apify actor. And that's going to pull in all of the people that are engaged with those qualified posts. And you're going to have a massive list of people in your ICP that you can reach out to. But not only that, there's a few other things that make this extremely awesome. The first point is that these leads are literally raising their hand and saying, I want to know how to solve this problem. It also means that by commenting on the posts of those creators, all of these people in this ICP are going to start noticing you because you're constantly posting thoughtful, insightful, valuable comments that they can learn from. And so they're going to start to see you as another thought leader or influencer for their niche. And then what's going to happen is you're going to build this massive list of all of those people that are engaging with those other creators' posts, and you're going to qualify their location, you're going to qualify their companies, you're going to qualify their job titles, and if they meet all of those criteria, you can run them through an email waterfall. And if you find an email that's valid for them, then you can send them into table 5. And table 5 is where you're going to have all of your personalizations. So we're going to have multiple AI columns that are going to generate personalized phrases, sentences, and words so that the outreach that they receive from you is highly customized to each individual and highly relevant. And then from there, we just put them into a campaign. So in Clay, you can use the add lead to campaign step for instantly or for smart lead. Or if you want to do LinkedIn automation, you can also add them into a HeyReach campaign. That's up to you if you want to do that. So there you have it. There's an overview of how this entire workflow works. If you'd like to get this running for your business, click the link in the description and book a time to chat with me. Also, if you enjoyed this content, consider subscribing because I have a ton more content just like this coming soon. I look forward to speaking to you soon either way. Thanks. Bye.